Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my special guest, Nick Lenz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
And making his special return to the channel, Najee. How's it going?
He's muted.
Okay, he's currently muted at the moment, but while we're waiting on him, oh, Najee, what's up?
What's up, guys? Hi. Oh yeah, TV wants to join.
Okay, I will send him the link.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he doesn't.
Send him the link.
Let's hope he doesn't do his little. I know he likes doing fanboy rants.
Yeah. I just how he. I
Yeah.
understand. So be careful with that.
Right off the bat, let's just keep
PG.
Yeah, let's just keep the rants to a minimum, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes, let's just keep it minimal.
But
I know the big thing that we should be talking about for this is, and this was, I think, just a couple weeks ago this happened, Diamond Distribution filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which some might think, oh, this is the end of comic history? No, it's not. Purely because DC signed up with Lunar. And that indirectly helps the comic industry. So distribution is going to be crazy per se, but the stuff I've been hearing, I heard it's Nick Critical, that it's going to be a while for some of these other companies to get their books out. DC can get out, no problem. It's the other ones that's going to be an issue.
Indeed.
It's a shame too. I've heard that apparently people who run Diamond at the time when they filed, the guy running was sounded like he was a complete moron. He apparently still had DOS systems for his computers. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, it's not the 90s. It's the 21st century. Why in the heck is he using like computers that are 20 years behind the times? That makes no freaking sense. And I think, everything is fine. It's not.
Yeah, I pretty much agree on that. Diamond distribution has been in a relative decline, at least in the past 5 years, bare minimum.
I would say since COVID. COVID probably where it started.
And we have another guest on the channel.
Yep.
What's up, Tevia? How you doing? Indeed. Again, this is an open channel. This is an open channel, guys. So whether you want to commute on the chat or you want to join the show, just let me know and I'll add you guys on. If the panel ends up becoming too full, don't worry about it. You can still engage with us with the chat. This is going to be just a pure topic about mainstream comics. Just whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. Guys, just something about the whole news we got. I sent you.
Yes. Yes, I have the links you sent me. I'll screen share those in just a moment. Which one do you want to go over first?
Me? Oh, yes. Yeah. About the Mark Waid stuff.
Yeah, you're the birthday boy, man. You go first.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's Mark up to?
Okay, so when we you got the one got sent from Mark Waid, right, guys?
I sent you sent it to me, but I don't know if you sent it to the others.
I did not.
Okay. Let me send it now because I think I got it. Let me check my Twitter. Because I actually talk about this. I want to talk about this because reason why it's not because I don't regard politics, but I don't want to say anything because I know you don't talk about politics here. But what is his stuff about what's in the comic industry now? Now when he's I'm not gonna say that because other things going on with stuff. But
what's up, Cameron? What was that?
I have no idea.
That was me. I was trying to extract something.
I just sent you it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Najee.
So
it's not sitting, but I'm sorry. I probably
oh my gosh.
It's not playing cool.
Yes. Yeah, I know it's bleeding cool, but I know Wade was not happy Trump won the election. I know he was not happy with that at all.
I don't want to talk about politics.
It's not blunt. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to.
Hold on, let me take the banner down, Najee. But I'll take over from here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into. We're not going to go into too much detail with this article because it's pretty cut and dry. We try to avoid talking about
Yeah.
too much about politics.
Yeah, I know. Because reasons why I know.
But this is a heavy concern. And shout out to Wes from Thinking Critical. He's actually talked about this in the past. But over politicization to the point, and the reason I say over politicization is because you can have an argument, you can have a critique or have a commentary, but if you're not saying anything, if there's no message to it, you're just preaching onto a script and hoping something sticks to the wall, or you're just doing it for engagement. Because Mark Wade, one of the biggest scumbags in the industry. We all know that. Like, I mean, he's notorious for it. But
I do like his writing. I do like his books, but
not the individual.
Yeah, individually. I have met him. Oops, sorry about that. I have met the guy, but he was nice when I met him back in. Well, it was the time he was starting his Avengers run back in 2015 when I met him.
Oh yeah, that book.
It was just before his all new Avengers run started. That's when I met them for the first time. So, and he was a nice guy. He probably became a dick in the last few years, right?
Last 10 to 15 years, I want to say. Last 10 to 15, if I'm being purely objective. But needless to say, he goes on this huge rant in this article. Again, we're just gonna go for the cliff notes here. It talks about like analytics and the election and how if left unchecked, let me just get to the meat and potatoes. If left unchecked, this is going to be a repeat of HydraCap 2016.
We don't want that.
This could easily spiral into that. That's one of the main reasons I left Marvel, if I'm being purely honest.
I know people have said the HydraCap is, in a way, inspired by Donald Trump, but given how he was written and what I've heard about Donald Trump, that is a complete lie. HydraCap was not, based on how he was written. If you read the Secret Empire book, there is nothing in that book, the way he talks and the way he acts, it's nothing like the real life Donald Trump at all. That is a lot of people. Some people claim that, but honestly, it's complete bullcrap. There's no evidence to support that at all. Some people are claiming that one World Under Doom. They say that's basically Marvel taking a shot at Trump.
No,
support that. There's none at all.
Not even a straw man. The closest you'll ever
that this is probably, in a way, Marvel basically did something similar with it back in the 90s with 2099 when Doctor Doom took over the country.
Well, 29 it made sense on a fun story. This one World of Doom event, it's boring. It's gonna be a boring event.
Let him finish, Tevia. Let him finish.
It has not started yet. I know this started in the aftermath of Blood Hunt, which I have done a review for it. I kind of felt as though with this event that came out last year, you read the book and it's like, wow, it's like we're mentioning stuff that happens in tie-ins. I'm like, why the heck is this not happening in the main freaking book? Like having Dracula team up with Blade's daughter to fight vampires.
Secret Empire, J.H. Blaze, your worst nightmares are coming true. Even the MCU might take that direction. If you want to use Secret Empire as a political thriller, fine, but you would have to trim a lot of the fat. If
Garbage.
If you're trying
and the fact that making a Cap a Nazi, like Steve Rogers.
No,
that was a bad idea. I'm not sure why Nick Spencer did that for. At least Secret Empire had a build to it. Compared to Civil War II, which had zero, it just happened all of a sudden. Oh, and those have probably noticed like why James's run ended for Captain America, which by the way, the run was really good, by the way. Apparently, they decided to launch Understand What was the Captain America book, which I'm like, this is the fourth one he's had as Captain America, and there's only one reason why they launched this book. You want to know why?
The movie?
Synergy?
Yeah, it's for the movie.
Yeah, for synergy purposes.
And get this. First issue features Red Hulk. just like the movie. I'm like, wow. It's like, let's just promote the movie and then have it where a year later, let's just end this book because, we're stopping the movie. Like, this is not very familiar. A character gets an ongoing series who's not that big of a character, and after the book gets canceled.
That sounds familiar.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Falcon debut as the first African American superhero for Marvel before Black Panther? Or did they debut around the same time?
They did have one character who was black before them.
Okay.
Dick Jones from Sergeant Fury. The first black superhero from Marvel Comics was Black Panther.
Okay. I just wanted to
and some others. I know that Storm is up there, one of the most popular ones. I mean, who does not know who Storm is? Or Luke Cage.
Yeah, but name that as well, name drop that well, because he was by Power Man. Luke Cage. Oh wait, which one anyway? Power Man.
Luke Cage was Power Man from the 70s until around he basically was Power Man for over a decade. He actually
late 80s, early 90s.
Well, he made his debut in the early 70s.
No, I'm saying by the time he rebranded from Power Man to just going on Luke Cage, it was definitely
He was a character who made his debut at the height of blaxploitation. Yeah. That was the purpose of the character. Iron Fist, the guy's best friend, and the godfather to his daughter. Martial arts movies.
Yep.
That's simple. And I don't care the fact that they decided to retire Danny Rand and replace him with a character from Korea.
That's so dumb. Like, you can still have Danny Rand, so it's going to be Iron Fist. That's so dumb. What are they doing?
I think the reason why they did that is because of the outrage that a white guy was playing Iron Fist, despite the fact he was played by the white guy in the comics.
Yeah, what the hell? So
yes.
dumb.
Oh, I think this artwork. I think it's Jack Kirby, isn't it?
Yes, this is some early Jack Kirby art.
Yeah, and no denying the fact that Jack Kirby is quite possibly one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. There's no denying that. The man was fantastic, and it is a shame Marvel Comics never celebrated his 100th birthday. DC did.
Yeah, don't give it up, Jack Kirby's legacy or Stanley legacy. No, what the story's kind of look fast on Spider-Man.
I listened to an episode of Rob Liefeld's podcast of it's a hate monger.
Yeah,
this actually is the original one. Okay, so the thing with this guy is that's the clone of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yes.
A clone.
Thank God I'm a small channel. Thank God I'm a small channel, because otherwise I'd be demonetized.
Yeah, he's a clone.
Of course.
He was created by Arnim Zola.
Of course.
He's the only person he's cloned in the comics. Guess who also is cloned?
Captain America himself?
No.
I give up. Let's go.
Yes.
Of course.
According to Rick Remender's retcon for his version of Red Skull, he cloned him right after his debut back in the 40s. So the version we see from Rick Remender's run, the one who later died in Nick Spencer's Captain America book, that one had no memory of from the 60s and the 90s. No memory at all.
Wait, so the Red Skull that died in Nick Spencer's one with a clone?
Yes, because the original one died when Edward Baker did the miniseries Captain America Rebirth. He died in an explosion.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing. Edward became the Red Skull just right after that, until the Cosmic Cube, who became the little girl Kobach, fixed her face.
Of course.
Yes, because I guess some people in Marvel don't like Brubaker, so let's undo something he did. That one I didn't have a problem with.
You know what's funny? Deadpool had a daughter knowing the anime on you, but Spider-Man can't? Why?
Tevia, let's keep the rants to a minimum.
Keep it down, please.
Okay, so... Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Deadpool's daughter briefly took over his comic book for a while until he came back.
But that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Because Ellen's a great character. Gary Duggan did a great job creating here. I don't know if Rob Liefeld has any thoughts about seeing one of his own characters become a parent. I'm sure he loves it. Given the fact he is a parent, he's got kids.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got no problem with it. I don't know if he's ever been asked about that at all.
But the main point where I was going with that with our first topic is the fact that art can imitate fiction. Is just either have something to say or at least contribute something to the conversation and let people make up their own minds. That's the larger point of where I was getting with that.
Yep.
And now this was a requested topic from Tevia. Top 10 Lois Lane stories. I'm sure Jared is cringing right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at basically this artwork here. The one on the left, that picture, I think that's from Matt Fraction's Lois Lane book.
Yep.
The middle is from I think it's from Event Leviathan or Checkmate, and the one on the right is Tevia's favorite book, Superman Lois.
Yep, my favorite book ever that got sequel.
We're just gonna breeze through this one.
Yeah, two sequels because they later their story. Not that my Jerkins, my different reader.
Yeah, we're just gonna breeze through this right quick.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because I've seen the first episode. It was not that good.
I've seen the show. The show is fine. Season 1 was fine. Season 2 was probably better season.
I did do a cheap plug, but I did do an Anime Blaze. Was it an anime? No, I did a Blazing review episode. Excuse me. Sorry, wrong show. I did a Blazing review episode reviewing Superman and Lois, and it just felt like a K-pop. It just felt like a glorified K-pop drama to me,
So the fact they decided to change, I don't have a problem with her being a tomboy. That's not the issue. The fact they changed her skin color, that was the issue.
That's fair.
That was Lois.
If I could please finish. The reason I say that is because it's so melodramatic, it's so dragged out. Like, we know this, and I'm not gonna nitpick. I'm gonna keep this to a minimum, I promise. But this whole thing just boils down to what if Lois and Clark met 5 years earlier? So no established careers, no Pulitzer, no country bumpkin, city girl banter, just two post-adolescents right out of college.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I get this is a leftover from the old regime before of Warner Media with AT&T, so I understand this is a leftover project from a production standpoint. But you might as well just make this a Lois Lane show. At least then you would have been honest about it.
Or we go with the other show with the get, the Superman Family show with the get, which we never got.
Admitted after the Super Sons movie bombed, logistically, Tevia, but after the Super Sons movie bombed due to poor sales, there's no justifying that from a commercial standpoint. I'm sorry, but I have to go by the numbers. There was no justifying that animated series.
I do.
But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and move on because yeah, it's a decent show. If you're just there for the romance and the action, it's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. Oh boy, I remember. Oh boy,
Water Metropolis. I'm trying to think who did the artwork. That looks like, is that John Byrne or is it a different artist?
No, Byrne took over in the 90s, like just before.
No, it was like 80s. He took over.
Late 80s.
I don't think he worked in this miniseries. I think it was somebody else. Because he did Superman, he did actually just did the writing, he didn't do the art. He did the artwork writing for Superman. Avengers Superman post-crisis was written by Marv Wolfman and then by Roger Stern. We said a bunch of really good writers. I don't have a problem with the artwork. It's like, okay. So it's like, okay, it's just an anthology book about Metropolis, okay?
I never watched Superman Adventure, so I have no comment.
Never read it.
I want to say this is a children's graphic novel.
Probably is.
Kind of.
But I haven't read this one specifically, so I wouldn't know. But I had read the Superman Family from 1974 and 1982. This one I have read.
This one, you look up the number for this book. It continues the numbering. You probably notice is like it's not very long. I think it lasted about 4 or 5 years. I think it did. The comic itself does not have an issue 1. There is no Superman number 1. If you try to find issue 1, you will not find it because the number for this book is continuation numbering from Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
And I believe it starts on issue 73, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
Let me look it up on here because It was like over 100, I think it was. I know when it started. Let's see.
And we got one more special guest in the chat, everybody. What's
Hello.
up, Robert? How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too
Hey,
bad.
guys.
I just
I'm
noticed
a
your-
Star Wars
hello.
fan.
Hello.
Hey,
Just
Bob.
noticed hi. Hi.
But
I'm noticing you guys are going to list about best Loises. I mean, you know where I stand on Lois.
Yep.
but I actually want your opinion on this, Robert. What would you say about Superman and Lois? Me personally, not Superman and Lois. My Adventure Superman. Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not the biggest fan of My Adventures of Superman, largely because of the melodrama. I tried getting into it. I did an original review as a collab with Talati about 2 years ago, and I tried getting in with Supergirl debuted in season 2 on 2 separate occasions, but I just couldn't get into it. The story just didn't hook me.
I'm hit and miss. I do like the stuff between, the chemistry between Lois and Clark. It's adorable.
Okay.
I think it's cute, but there are some of the changes I can accept, but then others I can't. Like the League of Loises and how they treat it like it's almost guaranteed. Now, I've met Jodie Campbell, and she admits, yeah, they could have done that a lot better. She openly admits they could have done it a lot better. But there is stuff that still, in my opinion, it does feel like an interesting take on that. But it's the rest around Lois and Clark that's the issue.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
Jim Heat, I do have an issue. What the issue was became Superman Family. It was 164.
164. Okay, I knew it was.
That's when it started. 164 issue 122. That was the classic Superman Family title that featured Jimmy, Lois, Supergirl, and I think even the Rick Jones DC counterpart, which is
Snapper Carr.
yes, Snapper Carr. He had featured the book too. Even though so, but by the Bronze Age, both Snapper Carr and Rick Jones got reduced in comics. The roles.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
but since Rick at least has had more prominence overall than Snapper ever has.
Yeah, Rick Jones currently, you can find him in All New Venom, a book written by Al Ewing who hates Paul.
Good.
Richard-
Wrong show. I hate that dude.
And but unfortunately, he was originally connected to Jonas Val, and then the writers on the Captain Marvel thing decided to totally torpedo it all.
As far as Rick Jones is still married, but his wife ends up in seen in years.
Nope. Rick, his wife is now Death.
Oh, I thought she was shelved.
No, that was something that in the Jonas Val miniseries, Peter David finally resolved a long-standing plot point he had done. That the only other person who ever played off of it was Fred Van Lente during that Hercules event a couple years, Chaos War.
Which is awesome, by the way. I love that event. It's very underrated.
Yeah, which is based on the whole notion that Marlo was always meant to be the next Death. And of course, I always love the gag of she visits Marlo during her wedding and gives her a brush. A brush with Death?
That's funny.
But back to this. Now, Superman, contrary to Tevia, but sorry, I got to do this to you, buddy. Superman and Lois, the actual miniseries Superman and Lois, which was part of like DC Rebirth, and they were reshuffling everything in 2016. This book bombed. Like, contrary to popular belief, this book bombed.
It was a good book. No denying it was a good book.
It was a good book, but I would say though, it was railroaded. And I know Jared people like Jared would like to bring like, oh, he said away when he could have done more. It's like, what is he to do? He can't retcon anything.
Yeah, you can't.
And in fact, I've actually met the guy who wrote this comic.
Jurgen, Dan Jurgen, so have I. And I know some people don't seem to like him because of statements he's made.
Yeah, and known for the creation of two very popular characters who still pop up this very day, Doomsday and Booster Gold.
And Cyborg Superman. You can say
Superman.
Yep. This miniseries I have read. I don't remember who wrote this one. Do you remember who wrote this one?
Hold on. Let me look.
It's coming to me. But before we start on
interesting miniseries that involved. I think this was in a way
DNA, Andy Lanning and Dan Abnett.
Good. I think this may be one of the last comics. I know that I've heard confirmation the last comic they worked on together was the Guardians Galaxy prologue. That was officially working on. This maybe one of the last ones.
Yep, and they since moved on. I even met Andy Lanning. He just said, "Oh, they didn't get tired of working together or anything. They're just like, we decided to move on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Denny is still active at DC because he did various comics. He did Titans, the entire Titans book, the previous one, not the current book. He did Earth 2 Worlds End.
Aquaman.
Yes, he did really good one for Aquaman. I love his Aquaman book. He also did Just Like Odyssey.
Yep. Oh, he took over Odyssey, if I recall.
Wait,
Yeah,
didn't Abnett take over New 52 Wonder Woman? Or was that somebody else?
No. Finch
no.
did. David Finch took over that. He took,
That was actually his wife, Meredith. She was the writer. He was the artist.
Okay.
Oh.
Book, I think.
I count both of them.
Yes. That book was actually Meredith Finch's first major comic she worked on.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, that was their introduction to her. Despite technically that wasn't the first comic she worked on. She worked on a comic from CSGO called Little Mermaid.
Yep.
Not really a Disney one, but that's what she did first. She also original book called Rose.
Yep.
I did ask her this on a stream, how she got to do the Conan book she did. C.B. Sebesky actually approached her at Comic-Con to do it.
Ah.
Yep. This book, I believe, was actually the first time I think this one introduced. I think this one kind of was bringing into continuity, but I think this was mixing up. I think this was actually the first time you actually had Grifter prior to New 52 reboot happening. This may have been the first to feature Grifter in the main.
In the main DC universe, yes. Well,
Yeah,
no, I would go Flashpoint too. Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Itself, the main Flashpoint. Oh,
Yes.
Why is this so high up? Why is this so high up?
I don't know. I believe, me person, I actually kind of enjoyed this event. I've never met this. I've never met him. One thing I at least appreciate about this event is you got Kate Spencer get something to do because she's a fantastic character.
We originally were going to have a secret history book that just disappeared.
Did that book get canceled?
No, yeah, it did.
It did?
Now, I know this book is about mystery, like who is Leviathan, and it's a Jack Kirby character, Mark Shaw.
Who's 90
And, the other thing,
One at
that
a
drives
time,
me-
gentlemen.
Sorry, I'm
Robert?
sorry. I'm sorry. I thought
Now,
someone-
that's-
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was a very interesting reveal when I saw it at the time. It was something I did not see coming. But this book led into two things. It led into Checkmate, also Bendis, and also Joshua Williamson's Shadow War. This event basically set up that particular crossover because what happened in this book affected that book because apparently, despite the fact Talia was responsible for what happened to Sokovia, the person responsible for Shadow War, like, oh, who was responsible for killing Deathstroke in the story? They came back. Who killed Roz? It was Geoforce. I'm like, really? Geoforce of Outsiders? Okay. At least it kind of makes sense.
I mean, there's I hate to cut you off, Nick. I mean, yeah, if you are going to effectively do a revenge story. Now, Shadow War itself is not bad. It sets up Infinite Frontier. It sets up Dark Crisis.
Yep.
Thank you. It sets up Dark Crisis. It establishes a setup for Batman and Robin to reconcile. It does what it's supposed to do for the most part. Najee, you mind lowering the volume for a second?
Oh,
I
sorry.
would say this my issue with Event Leviathan. Now, which was the one that Checkmate was the one that basically then undid and totally dismantled Leviathan, right?
Yes.
Yes, but Talia became head of it again.
Well, yeah. But the other thing that's led into around the Lois Lane mini by Greg Rucka. How the mighty have fallen.
I hate that book.
I have read that miniseries. I own it. And this is my opinion about that book. It's Greg Rucka's love letter to his fans because he featured Raymond Question, he featured Batwoman. Anything he previously worked on for DC, he did in the book. He featured an issue featuring Batman in it.
That's true, but it's also where he has proven that, and I've actually talked to someone who's interacted with Rucka, and he actually clarified the change. Because when Rucka once did Adventures of Superman, he wrote a Lois that was completely unbiased, completely like calling out both sides and everything. But then you get to that Lois Lane mini, then it's like, of course she's far left. He's a journalist. That's the way he writes her like that. Like, of course she's a lefty. even though it makes no sense because she's a military brat.
Yeah.
But and from what I found out, Rucka, after the election in 2016, had a wake-up call and realized I cannot be unbiased. I have to force my politics in this thing because look at what happened.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, if you're Wonder Woman stuff, he didn't put politics in that book. There was no Wonder Woman.
No, editorial cracked down by the time Rucker got to Wonder Woman. Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah,
that's true. Whereas Lois, clearly he was given free reign.
Speaking of Ivan Environment, another thing I don't where the story is that it makes no sense, but you guys.
Okay, don't go that far, Tevya. It made no sense to you, but it did make some.
Okay,
it's a shame that Bendis never an actual Batman series. Well, not ongoing, anyways. He did do Batman Universe, but an actual Batman ongoing, he never did. It proves the fact you read this book, he does know how to write Batman correctly.
He can't write Superman to say his wife. Expect when we get the Superman book in Battle Live.
Tevya.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all these loose threads. Like, and also they have these two different teams. Like Batman, like Superman is comprised of actual superheroes, while Lois has freaking Deathstroke on her roster. I'm thinking, wait a minute, she hired a mercenary, a known mercenary and assassin in the Marvel and DC universe. Freaking Deathstroke. My only guess is Bendis included it because he must love the character Deathstroke.
Maybe.
And the weird thing is, of all the characters featured in this book, like half of them are not really featured much anymore. I mean, what was this book you saw Kate Spencer in?
Nope. Kate was starting to get a resurgence, and then again the Secret History mini fell off, and then who knows what else.
And the one thing like that they kept canon with her at the Flashpoint is she's still a mom.
Yep, I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that.
And her creator is not very popular with some people because he wrote Batwoman. She was created by Mark Andrego.
Yep, and Mark Andrego. I've met him. I actually like the guy.
Yeah.
It just that people don't like his Batwoman work.
Yeah, but what were you supposed to do, right? Oh,
I love that book. That book is awesome.
I love that book, but good riddance to New 52 Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Lois.
Except she died in issue 1. This is a Lana Lane book.
I said good riddance. That's why I said good riddance to her.
Yeah, she died.
I'm like, okay, she died in issue 1 of this book, and then her remains got merged with pre-Flashpoint Lois.
Yep.
And we kind of got Lois. The big problem with this book, I felt as though, why I got axed after 18 issues, I heard it was, 1, because of low sales. 2, they changed the writer after, 8 issues.
I think Jimenez got either burnt out, couldn't handle his editorial, or because he wanted to both write and draw, but he couldn't keep up. And thus, it's like, if I can't do both, I'm off.
That's my best guess. Because one of the people I know from Super Bowl one tie-in to that story, with that Super Bowl that story, is that I thought the writing felt confused. Because, wait, so we have New 52 Laws turning to Lana Lane in that story.
No. She didn't turn to Lana Lane.
No. I said she talked to Lana Lane.
Talk to her. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tevya, here's how it works. Originally, before Superman Reborn, the Lana Lane we know was New 52 Lana.
Yes.
And then there were 2 Loises. And so New 52 Lois, New 52 Lana. Once Superman Reborn happened and they merged, now Lana is just known the one Lois.
Yes.
Also, when during the Rebirth one shot, she met pre-Flashpoint Superman. When she first saw him, she thought she was the Superman she knew, but it was actually pre-Flashpoint Superman. That was the one shot. I believe Tomasi wrote that, and I don't think Jerkins wrote that one shot. Did he?
No. Tomasi wrote the
No.
Jerkins wrote the Action Comics. That was great.
Yeah.
But they had it. Sometimes these one shots are written by the 2 writers do the separate books
to wrap things up. Yeah.
Yes, like in the Green Lantern. Miniseries from the 80s. This, I think, was also pre-Crisis Lois. I think this miniseries was her final appearance.
Yes, for Golden Age pre-Crisis Lois, one of her final appearances.
This is the Lois.
One version,
the one debuted back in the Silver Age. the weird thing about Earth 2, Lois, is that
Earth
she
2,
got
isn't it
Superman.
Earth 1 Lois? Isn't it Earth 1 Lois?
Yes.
This ain't Earth 2.
Yeah, this
No,
is
okay.
Earth.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and
All
break
right.
this down now. Golden Age is Earth 2. Golden Age
Yeah.
was retconned to Earth
Yeah.
2. Silver Age is the more modern ones, leading to present day.
Mhm.
Yes.
Christ on Infinite Earths
Yep.
merged everything together. Then you had 0 Hour, all these other crises. Every time they
And
changed
then-
it, the status quo would be 5 to 10 years.
She died in
Okay.
Infinite Crisis then.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Technically, she
thank
had
you.
Christ on Earth, but then because she was kind of brought back because of Alexander Luthor.
And then killed
Yep.
off, and then died of old age in Infinite Crisis. So this
Yep.
would have been the Earth 1 pre Silver Age and all that up to Bronze Age Lois.
Yeah,
This
that's
was her
okay.
final stuff.
I don't know who wrote this miniseries. I think I read, but I don't remember who wrote it.
Hold
I
on.
do not remember myself. Najee,
No,
you've been off
Volume
the
1,
quiet.
1986.
But okay. I just
Every Lois Brilliant superpowered linked.
I'm looking. It's it was Mindy Newell and Gary Morrow.
Mindy Newell. I know that writer. I never met her, but I think she also wrote the first one for Catwoman.
Yep, and she also worked on Wonder Woman and Amethyst.
Wait, which Amethyst? New 52?
No, original. The original early Amethyst.
Here's the one.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
DVD. The one I don't mind this miniseries, but I like it.
I don't like it at all. I hate it. Like,
Yeah,
I
hated this one. That's why
Yeah.
Jared's gonna have me have to go over for April Fool's Day.
oh, that's gonna be funny. I'm watching that.
Eh.
It's something though. This was a 12-issue maxi series. They released at the same time as Jimmy Olsen one, which that was more of a humor book. The Jimmy
That
Olsen
was
one,
better.
and that was done by Fraction.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep. That was one
That's
of
what it
Fraction's
was.
last mainstream works, wasn't it?
I think
I think it was the
yeah.
first one he did since Hawkeye.
Yeah, but I'm saying that was the last one he's done since because he's out on TV and everything. He works on the Monarch show.
Okay.
Oh,
The
that's
joke
cool.
I told on my channel when it comes to is like, oh, he finished Hawkeye. He left Marvel to do Sex Criminals from Image.
Eh.
Never heard of
Now-
it.
I've never read it, but that it's a joke I told because that guy came out around the same time as his Hawkeye book.
Now,
Yeah.
before we move on to comic sales and actual statistics, I did want to mention this next topic: Captain America: Brave New World. Now, I will see the movie because I was fan requested to do a review on it, so I will go ahead and review it.
I'm gonna see it
But-
when it comes out because I'm very interested. Plus, who does not want to see a movie with Harrison Ford being the president again?
And
I'm
yeah,
all for
get
that.
off my plane.
Get off my brain. I love that movie.
But for all intents and purposes, this film has a lot of Captain America: Brave New World has a lot of controversy around it. It's not as bad as The Flash from a production
No.
standpoint. It's
No.
not as bad, but it's definitely been through the ringer.
The stuff I've heard about it is that WWF Seth Rollins was gonna have a role in it. They cut it for some reason.
Who had it, Earl?
Seth Rollins.
That's right.
Oh,
WWF with Seth Rollins. Frickin' Rollins.
All right. I'm not a wrestling guy.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Appreciate the honesty, Robert. Appreciate.
Yeah,
the
his wife is gonna be on Star Trek Academy.
Okay.
Okay.
His wife is
Speaking
Becky
of-
Lynch.
Cool.
speaking of
Look
Star
her up.
Trek,
And you see, like, damn, he is one lucky guy to marry this Irish redhead.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and their parents, they have a daughter named Rue.
How about that?
Who actually, everybody found that she was pregnant during COVID. It was right after Monday Bank 2020, and then she figured, oh, she's gonna be a mom, and like everybody's like so happy that she's gonna become a mom.
Yep.
But
Nice.
the stuff I've heard other stuff about the movie, the original title of the movie was called New World Order. That got changed, Brave New World. Sabra is in the movie. She's a character from the comics. She's a mutant from Israel. And she's an agent of Hamas in the comics. In the movie, apparently, description I read, she's a former Black Widow. I don't get. Now, I've heard the rumor. The reason why that is because of the ongoing conflict in Middle East right now.
Oh God, not that.
That is the reason why they changed it.
Wait. What? One more time?
the ongoing conflict in Israel right now
Mm-hmm.
with the whole that stuff going on there. That's why they changed it where she's no longer agent of Hamas. The Israel secret.
Why?
I don't know why. I pretty sure make Liv Tyler as Betty Ross,
Ooh.
and the fact that the leader is back. I'm like, what the heck took so to bring him back?
See, I can
Sorry.
answer that. I can answer that. Again, this was Universal had the exclusive movie rights for Hulk to Hulk IP for the longest time, and they just recently, because Universal didn't do anything with the Hulk, it wasn't profitable in their eyes. The closest we've had to a situation where an outside IP either didn't do nothing or ended up acquiescing the rights back to Marvel was Fox. Fox avoided it the first time in 2015 with the release of Fantastic, which we all try to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have never seen it, but here's a weird thing.
You're better off.
Fix that movie.
Go by all means. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My brother loves it for some reason. I do not know why, but he loves it. He loves the bad Fantastic Four movie.
How old is your brother? How old is your brother?
He's 2 years younger than me.
Okay. That
And
makes
here's
sense.
the weird thing. He's not into a lot of stuff like I am or my sister. He's not really like
he's casual. Okay, that makes sense.
he's casual, and plus he's former Navy.
Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense.
All right.
Okay, that's fair. That's
But
fair.
He's a father too. A father of 3 boys. My youngest nephew is turning 4 the end of this month.
That's
Aw.
That's good.
But
That's
speaking
good.
of Fantastic Four, I can be with this. Guy, are you guys excited for Fantastic Four, the trailer coming out this Tuesday?
Can't wait.
I am so excited for that movie.
I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I'm interested about it. I saw an image of possible Galactus look like. I'm like, wow, we're finally have actual Galactus, not a
Oh,
freaking
thank
purple cloud.
Yeah.
Thank you,
What
Disney.
was up with that and Green Lantern saying, let's make these Eldritch Abomination clouds?
That's so dumb.
What I've heard the reason why that was is because studio heads did not care.
You
Of
know?
course it ain't
They
care.
brought the movie out.
That and CGI limitations because this was 2005.
Well, no. Green Lantern came out in 2011.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think that Rise of the came out in 07.
07. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Green Lantern came out, I believe, in 2012, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I got 2011.
So,
Yeah.
No, it would have to have been after New 52 started because there was then issues that came out around that same point.
Yes. In the movie, and I'm shocked no one brings this up.
What?
In this movie, we feature Amanda Waller as a scientist. In the
Yeah.
movie.
That's Waller. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
That's
Viola Davis.
Amanda Waller, the fact they keep her sort of tragic backstory, and I'm like, wait a minute. Waller has nothing to do with Green Lantern.
Yeah,
And
that
all-
makes sense.
Nope, it
Yeah.
was meant to.
Green Lantern comic. Never did.
Nope.
He
Because
was a bad villain. I hate him in that movie.
again, and unfortunately, it's because Guggenheim, much like he did with the Arrowverse, just botched everything because he feels he knows better.
Of course, woman has to play.
I back Guggenheim, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about various different things. Some issues I had with the Arrowverse, and he was perfectly understandable with them.
All right.
Like,
Oh, that's cool.
an example, Count Vertigo, drug dealer.
What about Black Canary?
Idea. I told him it was a dumb idea, and he accepted it. He didn't complain. I didn't care for that at all. Let's see.
I'll give him props for that.
Care for the Vigilante reveal that they did, like who the Vigilante show was. I thought, okay, so Adrian Chase was Prometheus, though that was an alias. It wasn't the real Adrian Chase, it was an alias. His real name was Simon something, but it was Simon Mott. That's the actor who plays Captain Pike on Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
Okay.
I was really hoping this was going to be Adrian Chase. Instead, it's the current Black Canary's former partner from Central City, who was the original character for the franchise.
Oh?
It's got a healing factor. I'm
I
like, what the heck?
hearing factor. That's
You had
always-
Prometheus
always-
right there. I mean, it's bad enough that version of Arrow is a Batman ripoff. Like that's bad enough.
Yeah.
But you have But you have Prometheus right there. I mean, I don't understand if it was a licensing situation. I know we're all over the place tonight, but please bear with me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this was a licensing thing or they were just trying to make a Batman show on the cheap. But there were a lot of mistakes made with Arrow.
I thought they did want the Batman show, and they ended up with Green Arrow because of the Bat embargo.
That is true.
That embargo would mess everything up for a
It's
lot
just
of
so
years.
interesting. The entire Arrowverse started out, well, not completely one-to-one faithful, more faithful than some things. And then once they finally got enough stability, they decided, now we can do whatever we want.
Now,
And
here's
then-
And the consequences.
one of the characters featured in the show was Ra's al Ghul.
Yep,
A
Yep,
character everybody knows is a classic Batman villain.
not a
Not
Arrowverse.
Green Arrow villain.
He's never fought Green Arrow. Now, I have asked Neil Adams, because I've met Neil Adams before he passed away.
Mhm.
He did not get much opinion on, at the time, this was before the version of Gotham appeared, because I didn't watch the episode of Gotham feature Ra's al Ghul. I only saw Batman Begins, which featured Liam Neeson, which I think was a pretty good Ra's.
He's fantastic.
All things for good to consider, yeah.
Yeah.
And the one to play him on the TV show, that one, from what I heard and what I've seen from the show, that one is more comic accurate Ra's.
Yeah.
The show.
Or Arrow.
He didn't have much issue with it at all. He didn't hate it. I did ask Mark Guggenheim about this. There was an episode of Legend of Tomorrow where the Legend told, go to this warehouse on the corner of O'Neill and Adams.
Ah,
Which, according to Guggenheim, that was actually his idea to do that. And Neil said nothing about it. He just gave blank expressions like, apparently didn't have a problem with the fact that he had an Easter egg for himself in the show.
That's cool. Good for
Yep.
him.
If I was to be Guggenheim, one thing I would ask him is, why make Iris an Iris West keep a Dr. Light on this other Earth when Dr. Light's supposed to be Asian?
Yeah, they did do
That one, so the original one was Linda Park.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah, Linda. Yeah.
That's white.
Yeah, Dr. Light. So for some reason because
Oh, thank
you know,
you.
Linda Park was the only agent he had in the show, so let's just basically make Earth 2 Dr. Light, who lost her outfit. No one knows what happened to her because she has disappeared. Linda becomes Dr. Light for an episode.
Nick and Man never got Nick Fury DC way possible.
Now,
Ah,
I have not met John Ostrander, so I do not know
have.
about version. Okay, so there have been three
One time,
different
gentlemen.
Waller. There have been the one from Smallville,
Mhm.
Arrow, and Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
I would say, and this is my honest opinion, the best Waller is Viola Davis.
Mhm.
No, wait.
Obviously. Yeah.
Actually, they did not do Man of War. You missed one. The Justice League animated series Man of War.
I mean, for live action.
For live action.
Oh, live action. How do I animate?
Yeah,
That's
and
the-
in fact, the actress who played Waller in Justice League,
CH Pounder. Yep.
yeah, she actually played the Emmy on NCS New Orleans.
Yeah,
I'll
she's
say
great
that.
in Man of War.
If there's any, if she could perfectly do a live action Wall.
Why didn't I catch her at Man of War? I would.
I don't know
Uh,
why.
Animation is
Big name.
animation is different from live action because with
No, that's
animation,
true.
But she didn't do live action acting.
But sorry, wait, David, let him finish.
But I will say this now: if we're getting purely performance, it's Viola Davis, then the actress who played DCAU Waller, but it's like neck and neck. It's like right there. Like you
The
can
one
swap one.
Arrow was okay. So they went with a thin version from New 52. Okay, she did kind of act like Waller. The color of the wall.
Somewhat.
I think she was okay interpretation of Waller. You guys all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
would
was
say though-
boring. But that's me.
Current
The
actress
one from Smallville was I can't exactly define that version. The one for Smallville. She didn't appear very much in the show. She appeared for a handful of episodes, and presumably the clone of Zod killed her.
what?
And
Yeah, the New 52 was wild, man. It crashed and burned within the span of 5 years, but it was wild.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Like, okay, so Glass was the one who made Waller thin.
Yes.
And like, let's have a woman who's been chilling for years. Let's make her smoking hot, and let's have James Gordon Jr. develop an attraction to her.
Now there was a point where they were making a joke about how she was going to start eating and gaining more weight.
Did that go anywhere?
She's chubby again for no reason.
Good.
Yep.
Well, so
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but she made a joke about like, "Give me that cake" or whatever, and they said that's the joke.
So from what I can tell, Glass was the one who made her thin. Rob Williams was the one who made her chubby again.
Yep, and good. I'm glad I read
But
that.
she's
I
supposed
know,
to be
Robert.
tall in stature.
Yeah.
Yes. The only problem I have with Rob Williams' run is the inclusion of Killer Croc and Katana as part of the lineup. because-
I know
That was
what it is.
editorial, I'm sure. I'm sure that was editorial who told me how to do it.
Well, not
Yeah,
that.
because these two have nothing to do with because prior to Suicide Squad, which featured these two, Croc they featured because David Ayer had no experience with CGI. This one, the guy is a good director, but he has no experience with CGI. That's why we have King Shark. Katana, not sure why we had to include her or why in the war her outfit was simply put just a short jacket, the white shirt she wore, and the pants. I don't think that's Asian stereotype. I think that was simply you look at Katana from Suicide Squad compared to what she appeared in Arrow. Arrow, it's new 52 costume, accurate.
Funny you mentioned Arrow, I just realized. Talk about one of the biggest wastes of potential, Kate Spencer. She doesn't even become. She gets killed off before she can even become Manhunter.
Wait. How's she
I
die?
told you. I don't
She got
remember how.
killed as a road chef in season 2.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they bring her in, and then they kill her off. It's like they didn't even. They were doing it to spite us.
Yeah, and thing is, the guy who created her is a writer who DC. I'm here for some people. DC does not care to give this guy much work. JT Crow, he's the one who created Isabel Rochev.
Wait,
Oh,
JT Kroll?
Yeah. She first appeared in Green Arrow Volume 4, Number 1.
Oh.
This came after. She first appeared in that relaunch, that volume that came out before New 52 relaunch happened. It was after the whole Cry for Justice bullcrap was going on.
Oh,
They
wait,
did
Oh God!
wait. You're talking about Kate? Because she was introduced in the
Not
Manhunter.
Kate.
Oh.
Isabel.
Oh, Indigo.
No, Isabel, the one who's played by Summer Glau.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Isabel. All right.
Yes, who
JT Kroll, yeah, from what I've heard, because he was a protege of Jeff Johns that just no one liked.
Why?
despite the fact he's a really good writer.
Yeah,
Why
really
now?
good. I love this Titans run. Him wrapping up the Yeah, I think the last thing he ever did was of all things a Bloodlines miniseries.
Was it good?
No.
Oh, it's bad. Damn.
I don't know if that was his fault or was the editor's fault. Basically, he turned it that way.
Yeah, it was pointless. The mini.
Another protege of his who hasn't much anything in years besides him. Do you guys remember Sterling Gates?
Yep.
No.
Both of them were Jeff Johns proteges.
Was it good or was it bad?
It's the only books ever the guy wrote. He did Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion, which is awesome.
Yep.
He did I believe he did Just Like America Vibe.
Yep, he did that. He did Teen Titans, and he did the Ravager backup.
Yes. He did the Ravage backup for Teen Titans Volume 3.
Mhm.
Which, fun fact, all but one issue of that book is in trade.
Yep.
$1
I remember
billion
what the one issue was.
Actually, there was a couple issues. The issues issues 27, 20 done by
Oh yeah. The Amazon Attack tie-in and
Gail
the,
Simone
Gail
issues.
Simone, the Gail Simone issues. Yeah.
Amazon
Yeah,
Attack.
according to Liefeld, they put Gail Simone in the book because some people didn't trust him to write to do Teen Titans by himself, so they put a big name like Gail Simone in the book. That's the only reason why she was there. And if you read the two issues, it feels like a Hawk and Dove book that just happened to feature Teen Titans.
Yeah. But yeah, also he did Sterling Gates, he's the one who did the Supergirl run with Jamal Igle.
Wasn't that book good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It was decent.
Yeah, and I believe he was the one who created Caitlin Snow.
Yep.
Oh,
But this,
I like Caitlin Snow, and I cannot stand what John Layman did for railroading her into being a villain again.
That was dumb in Titans. I hate that story. You got Kimmy.
but Najee, you want to take over this next topic?
sure. Before I get, I'm tired. Just went off today. So, but this my birthday today, so
Happy birthday!
All right, all right,
but
All
I'm
right.
29 years old.
all right.
Sorry.
Najee, you want us to sing the? You want to sing your birthday song? Or you want to do the topic first with the
Uh,
comic sales?
Probably first for the comic book sales. I don't know about this, some of it, but I trying to put up on that with the whole comic book sales thing because you probably know what I do. So you can pick each number right here from the article and just
Yeah.
tell me what it's all about.
Like if we see like a top 10 chart, I would not be surprised if we see a Spawn book in there.
DC's on top. DC's
Oh.
beating Marvel a lot.
Marvel's been on a steady decline since All New, All Different, and they really haven't recovered.
Yeah.
One thing I appreciate about them, they stopped the constant restart #1. They don't do as much as they used to.
Because they realize it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Except that's not true. They were going to image spine back to #1.
No.
Again.
Okay,
One at a time, Jen.
that makes sense because they're at least doing it after a long run, not a short run.
Yes.
Yep.
That I can accept. If you do it after a long run, that's fine. If it's after a short time, like a 12-issue run, no, that's stupid.
Fair.
Yes. I heard this recently from Think Critical. He pointed out something interesting that the company that sells the most cheapest comics out there is Image.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, that's true.
okay.
That is true.
The most expensive is not DC, not Marvel, IDW.
Yep.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they do. Especially look at Turtles. The last Ronin is like $8. Now,
And
granted,
I'm
it's slightly different.
Wait,
That's
did
not
IDW didn't? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, Tevye, but didn't IDW lose the rights to TMNT like
No.
2 years ago?
No.
Nope, they still have them. They have like several comics.
They still
The
have
main book-
Turtles, they still have
it's different.
Sonic,
Wait,
and they
wait.
still
So
have
who?
Star Trek.
Wait, so who am I thinking of? Because I know one IDW
They
Oh,
lost.
lost
Sonic.
Transformers. They lost
No,
Transformers and
Oh,
G.I.
yeah.
Joe.
Transformers,
Okay.
G.I. Joe.
Okay, thank you.
I think they might still have. Don't they still have My Little Pony, or they lose that too?
Yes, they still have ponies.
They
Yes,
still
they
have
still-
that,
in
yeah.
fact, people
Which
were
is
wondering
weird
if they
because
were.
that's a Hasbro property.
Yeah, but I think they trust IDW with that because it has probably done different, better sales, and they haven't done any stories or having creators that have been controversial enough.
I do have a question.
No denying the fact that Transformers was also under Skybound. Really good.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
One of the best for the
Okay.
last decade.
Yep.
All right, Najee had something to say. Najee,
I do have a question about the whole thing on the comic industry as a whole because we know that differences in level stories and also the kind of sales that people like when their characters do sell to try to get a fan base with a character. So what I'm saying is with recognizable characters like Batman, Superman,
Top 10
Your-
press. Okay, he's okay.
other
Wolverine is not. Wolverine #1.
I think you would. I like to hear what the rest of you were saying.
So I was saying that the characters and the recognizable characters also the comic book base, how many of these fans, how much sales with the
Oh,
books going on.
okay.
Because on this list, I don't know.
You're asking. Wait, so let me get this straight. You're asking about why doesn't sales match?
No. I'm talking about the metric of the whole thing. Like the whole thing on this list right here. Like from the comic industry before and after and now. Because
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I'm trying to understand.
I think I'm starting to piece it together. Okay, Najee, at least from what I'm interpreting of your question, it's mostly how distribution is always going to be fickle when it comes to the comic book industry.
Yeah.
That's just the objective truth of it. But at the same time, if something sells or something is like really popular, they either use these. Okay, I'm gonna use Marvel for example. Marvel, they just use it as justification and material for like MCU and TV shows. It's just added merchandise to that.
IT
DC
farming.
Farming, thank you. DC doesn't do it as much. At least
Nope.
DC is a bit more organic with their stories, at least as much as they can be. But Marvel is notorious for intel farming. I mean,
The
Marvel.
The last character that was introduced organically and became a hit was Kamala Khan.
It made Marvel, and that's about it. Marvel Eyes, he got trimmed and made
Oh my God! Okay, Miles was also a good one. I'm just saying the last one, and Kamala was after Miles.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but what I mean by that, I meant that when Marvel Eyes going to the main universe.
Yeah, that's when things kind of went off the rip. I'm just talking about his characters that clicked and was done organic. Riri was done so inorganically it hurt.
Yeah, that was forced and day one from Bendis.
Yeah, that was Bendis who created her.
I mean, at least Lady Thor was a story that Aaron had. I still give him props for that.
Yeah,
No.
same Captain America. Same way as Captain America, organically made.
At
No.
first. At
Yeah.
first.
Here's a little fun fact for you guys. Okay, so what was the last known live action character who moved to comics who was actually popular with fans?
Bill Colson.
It may have Phil Coulson. I know, yes, that Dreamer, the one who appears in.
Yep, Dreamer's become popular, yep.
Yes. I know they've had some anime characters too, but those two last one I could think of because not many. From DC, DC loves bringing cartoon characters who are featured in shows in the comics. People like Harley Quinn, Mercy Graves,
Aqualad.
Aqualad technically debut on the. It's kind of weird with that one.
Renee?
Renee technically made debut before she appeared in Batman.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was close. It was very close, though. It was-
Do you remember the character, the female terrorist Claw, who appeared in Batman for 3 episodes? Batman animated series.
Red Claw.
Yeah, Red Claw. She actually made her comic debut in Catwoman.
Well, that's cool. Did they do anything with her?
Not much, but if you see the comic, she actually does look like the way she looked on TV show, with the white streak in her hair, still looking gorgeous.
Yep.
I
will say, though, I am so grateful for Dreamer that the way she's been handled by her own actress, she's actually been respectful. And also the fact that I keep forgetting the character's trans, like the actor. Because she's not one of those who decides to rub it in your face about it. Like, I'm trans. Like, I can only count on one hand how many times she's ever brought that fact up.
Ooh, I recognize the image. That's from No Man's Land.
I was thinking on the Comanche.
That one,
I
I don't have a problem with No Man's Land. Dixon himself, basically, there's a story, and he has confirmed this. Prior to the start of No Man's Land, him, Doug Moak, and Alan Grant were fired for the books via a fax. Like, back there, too.
Really?
I heard about this on Saturday night, and then Dixon confirmed it's at Chuck's Packet. That's technically how it was. Chuck Dixon was working on Detective. Alan Grant was working on Child of the Bat.
They have been for the longest time, yeah.
And Doug was working on Batman. Doug did a few comics after this and hasn't much things since then. Alan Grant, I think I heard he was still working on Lobo at that point in time. This was like late 90s. But Doug was pretty much done. He has done a thing in over about 20 years. I have talked to someone who actually does know him. Oh, that's an Emperor Joker. Interesting story.
So have I. I've talked to Kelly Jones, who does still keep up to date with him.
That's cool.
And fun fact, I've actually met Jeff Loeb.
Hold on.
I know about this.
I met him a couple times. I actually saw him last year. And I heard a story about this related to him, that when he was head of Marvel Television, he was encouraged not to write a single comic book.
That explains a lot. To be fair, given his burnout, that was probably for the best. They probably looked at it and realized, dude, no, we got to keep him away.
I know this comic. This is from Batman Endgame.
Yep, Endgame.
One thing, this comic did feature most Justice League, but didn't feature all of them at the line at that point. If you read the comic, the comic itself is not consistent how they're written in the main Justice League book. Because I did hear something apparently Snyder did not want right away. They just show up for Brown for a few years. He really like they were old friends.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Now I've never met Scott. I'm going to meet Scott Snyder this coming Friday. First time I met Greg Capullo. Nice guy.
I've met both of them. Great guys. And I've met Sean Gordon Murphy. Love the White Knight verse. It is sad stuff.
I love this.
It has my favorite Harley.
Yeah, the story is great.
The Harley in this one is how Harley should be. Getting mostly over Joker. It's mostly Harleen with a little bit of Harley still in her.
Fun fact, another guy's worked with Snyder, Jack Skeeter. Arkham City, I think this series, there's a couple of Arkham City books. There is one that was on by Paul Dini. It was another book was a 5-ish. It was a 5-ish media. Then there was a weekly comic.
Yep, Unhinged. And I gotta say, between this and Injustice, this has very little tie into the continuity.
Aren't they inconsistent within the game and the comics?
Not really. They completely disregard so much. Like in Unhinged, they kill off Bane, and at night reveal, no, he's still alive.
Yeah, that's right. I said inconsistent.
Yeah, I know this one. This is from Scott Snyder's family,
yep.
Which I was curious for a long time how the Joker's face get fixed at the story. Apparently, at the end of the story, he follows off this cliff disappearance. Apparently, fell into this fountain associated with the metals that led into Dark Knight's metal.
It was a proto Lazarus pit. Basically, it would not only heal you, but it would also heal your mind.
Because I read the comic, I read Endgame, it didn't really explain that clearly. I had to hear that from somebody else. Oh, that's from City of Bane. I actually like this story. Didn't like this one at all.
I would say it started off good, but thanks to DiDio's meddling, it derailed.
I hate this.
The thing is, I know Tom King gets blamed for killing off Alfred. He is a article that was not his idea. He actually wanted to do a fake out. It was the editor's idea for the kill off Alfred.
Why? Why kill off Alfred? Whose idea was this?
I don't know. I did not ask Tom King about that.
It was the deal because it was meant to tie into 5G. Killing off Alfred was meant to have a much longer standing impact, but then they dropped it.
I've met Dan DiDio. I did not get a chance to ask about that. I did ask him about Countdown. So you know how basically like a lot of the artists were inconsistent in that book? So apparently the entire artists worked on Countdown were all from the same studio in Spain.
That explains a lot.
It was in Spain?
Yes. Okay, so I did also ask him about the thing about because when Chuck Dixon worked on Robin and Batman Outsiders, he got fired both books. I asked Dan DiDio about it. What he'd know about it. He does remember, but he does not know the reason why he was let go from those books. So I don't think that's him lying to me. I think it's honestly him telling the truth. I don't think he really knew because he said it was not his department.
By the way, well, I know something interesting that Dan DiDio even confirmed. I know McDuffie confirmed to me once. Hello? Trying to see if my face is blocked.
Oh, yeah, the banner.
Okay, I am responsible for the female Dr. Light's resurgence. I am.
Oh.
You want to know what happened? Yeah.
What happened?
Because back after Dr. Light was all hurt, ever since
Mad Love.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow 54, where the male Dr. Light drained her powers, things were just so kooky. She lost her powers, but then appeared at Infinite Crisis. I eventually was at a panel at Wizard Chicago before it became C2E2, and I just asked, "What's going on with the female Dr. Light?" He didn't point me out like Justice League, just you wait. I emailed Dwayne McDuffie asking, "Whoa, what's the plan?" He said he had no idea what I was talking about. And he's usually known for being honest. If he was having some plan, he would at least hinted at it. And then not long afterwards, she appeared. I met Dwayne McDuffie a year before he died, and he told me, well, the way it happened was, after I did that email, not long after that email, DiDio came to him and said, put her in. She ended up in the book. He ended up straightening things out with her. And then after he got fired, Len Wein kept her on, and then James Robinson, who was a big fan of hers, kept her on and brought her into the Superman books.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So because of me asking that question to DiDio,
I've read the story. I have heard this story from some people where Batman and Catwoman wouldn't be like robots in this.
Well,
It-
okay.
I don't feel that. I think the written. They feel quite natural. I don't have a problem with this. I think this is a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's uniquely told. It's uniquely told.
But here's the thing. This story ended with Batman performing the Catwoman. I was happy with that. I mean, happy. This would have
No, this was
One at a time, gentlemen. Steve,
All right.
Steve, Robert. Excuse me, Robert.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was just
Go
saying
ahead.
if I recall right, this was after the proposal and it was a flashback.
Yes, it was. But in the present day, we also see Batman and Catwoman performing the game.
Yeah, but it did. But you just said it ended with the proposal. No,
I think flashback kind of clarified this is like a year or two after 0 year.
Yes.
Yeah, after
It's
the
in between 0 year, during the in between years of 0 year and the beginning of everything.
There is a comic, a comic done by Zardesky, who actually it was Joker Year One,
Yep.
which the comic itself picked up right after 0 year left off,
Mhm.
where the guy who replaced Loeb was more corrupt than he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was focused on Jim Gordon, obviously. Very interesting flashback story. Ended with basically with the whole thing is because there was that plot thread from 0 year with the Red Hood gang. What happened to them? I guess Zardesky probably picked up the plot thread. It's like, oh yeah, new head is actually the commissioner of the GCPD. And then, of course, basically half the police was working with Gordon and half of them was working with the commissioner. So they started a freaking fist fight in the precinct.
Who won? Who won the fight?
I'm here too.
Gordon's group, and the commissioner was actually arrested and convicted of being the leader of the Red Hood gang.
Okay.
Yeah.
This story.
But
Yes.
before we move on, first off, Movie Theater King, welcome to the panel. How you doing?
What's up? Okay.
Good.
What's up?
Always good to have you on. But before we move on, there's one last thing. There's one more thing we have to do before we move on. I know it's a long night for us, gentlemen, but please bear with me. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey, many more.
My birthday's not for about 2 months.
I'm so happy 29 today. 29.
I'm 40. I turned 40 a couple weeks ago.
What's that? Next year?
Well,
Oh.
Robert, I turned 37 this year.
Oh, boy, am I the oldest one here?
I do have a question. I do have a question.
Go ahead.
I do have
Najee,
a
go ahead.
question. What is it like being 30 next year for me? What's it like being 30? Because I have a
40?
30.
Or 30?
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, buddy. I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not going
For me, it was just a number. It didn't really bother me at all when I turned 30.
It's just a number. It's just a number.
Yeah, Mommy Otto.
Yes.
Okay, this thing.
This is nothing new. The people who created Superman have sued them a lot over the years. The
Okay.
last lawsuit they did got thrown out of court.
Nick, may I bring up one point?
Yes.
So you do know now, technically, everything did get mostly resolved after the last time. This thing, however, is a big deal. Apparently, there's some laws in the UK where even if you're not from the UK, if it's anywhere in the world, if once the creator dies 20 some odd years after their death, the estate or their heirs or whatever automatically get the international rights in the UK. First time I've heard of it, it's weird, but apparently that is true here. And I'm positive Mark Toberoff is after blood after he DC Warner Brothers beat him last time. Because you do know, Toberoff, he works for both the Siegel and Schusters and the Kirby estate, and his goal has always been to get the rights to any of their characters so then he can be the sole proprietor of their rights and make his own little mini thing around it.
Fortune.
That has been
Fortune.
no
Mini
secret.
fortune.
I do have a question.
Go ahead,
Public domain for Superman. That's
That's not until 2028. I believe.
Okay, I'm confused about that because if
Yeah,
that would have
but-
happened,
Yep. Now, well, here's the thing, though. DC and Warner Brothers would still own the trademark. Also, that would just go off of action number 1, meaning the only thing in public domain are Superman, Clark, Lois, but not even Krypton. That would be it. It would just be those 3, and his power set would only be leaping and bulletproof and strength. No heat vision, no flight, no nothing. It's only what's in action number 1.
Wait.
The Krypton retcon didn't happen until Warfront Comics number 101.
Yep, Superman number 1. And that's when you also had Ma and Pa were introduced.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm talking about basically his backstory with the exploding planet and Jor-El and his wife. That's more Foreign Comics number 101, which is the first appearance of Superboy. That was the debut of Jor-El. That part of his backstory was established in that very issue.
But that's that wouldn't be that would not be public domain until a little bit later.
Question.
Yes, but that's technically that part of his backstory, Krypton. That's owned by DC.
Yep.
But Movie Theater King had something to say. Movie Theater King, anything you want to add?
How is everyone enjoying the Ultimate Universe and Absolute Universe, and also
Loving them.
I love it.
For the new villain for both Superman and Supergirl? Should they really be Ultraman and Lobo? Honestly,
Okay, first of all, here's what I think. Okay, the Ultraman thing. Here's what I think. I don't think it's Ultraman. I personally do not think it's Ultraman. I think it's Ultramarine. The Ultramarine Corps. That's a Morrison creation of super soldiers.
Deep cut, Rob.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's Ultramarine Corps, and that gets why people think it's Ultraman because it's close enough.
Yes, I've watched the original Ultraman series. I watched the first 3 that were released. I've not watched that much Ultraman.
Wait,
So
not that Ultraman, not that Ultraman. We're talking about the DC Ultraman. That's the evil Superman.
Okay, that one.
We're not talking about shit. We're not going to talk about the Japanese Ultraman.
We're talking about him.
But yeah, but and as far as Lobo is what King wanted to use.
Hey, Jim.
Lobo wanted to use King in his story, but editorial told him no. So this is a way of getting around it by utilizing what he originally wanted.
And that's a bot. But good to see you, T29. Good to see you. But as for Superman Legacy, or Superman as now called, this movie could be really good or really bad, but the future of the DCU really depends on whether or not this movie is a success.
If they're one shot.
There is a problem though with this lawsuit.
That is true.
Wait, what's the problem?
I'm getting to it, Tevya. A huge problem with that. If they are able to be told that the Schusters, and it's just the Schusters, Seagulls are all in favor of this. They are just, and Toporov is just utilizing the Schusters because they're the only ones who are still bitter. Basically, who if they keep their end of the international rights and if they put on a stupid demand, DC's not going to be able to use Superman in any marketing over in the UK. Period.
Oh.
And because of that, they're probably going to want to not use him. Period.
In that scenario, there's only two resolutions. Either pay the Schusters the licensing fee outright, or make sure the Schusters get a cut should they win this case.
Yeah, but the big thing is that if it's Toporov and he's after blood, he's going to want to do everything he can to derail things for them. Because look at the fact that they waited until this movie. They waited.
Why? Why wait so long?
Because, with the exception of Canada, the other UK territories, Australia, UK, and all that, Schuster had the international rights since 2017. It took until Canada was 2021 for them to get it, and then they waited. And my guess is they waited until a big movie came out in general to do it. But the fact is,
how did the Schuster family get the licensing fee for the whole international stuff?
I said this earlier. It's an automatic by default law in the UK. By default, you don't have to be a citizen or anything. Anyone in the world, the moment the creator dies and 20 some odd years have passed, their estate, regardless of the owner, the estate would get the international rights by default. You don't even have to apply. It's just automatic.
Oh. Wait. It's not like go back to them. Is that gonna sabotage the movie and everything?
Oh, it can.
If the case drags out, I hate to cut you off, Robert.
Yeah, but we get to it out. It's just the UK and its territories.
But that is a major marketing blow for this movie.
Yeah,
it is, and they know what they're doing.
China alone will not be able to make that up momentum-wise.
China does not care about movies like this. When they get a movie like this, you know what they do? They change the name. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is not called that over there. Apparently, it's called a different name over there.
of course.
And get this, Shang-Chi, a movie that was specifically made for the Chinese. They did not want it at all.
No, they did not.
At least they can't. Mulan, they refused to air in China because the directors comment on social media.
And the actress too, if I recall.
Yeah.
I have not seen the live-action Mulan, so I don't have an opinion on it.
You're better off, trust me.
Don't watch it. It's bad.
I have a question. What upcoming movies, right? We won't Stitch or stuff coming out. Coming in China, movies coming out.
China's usually the movie commission over there is very fickle over there. Not every film gets approved, so it's kind of.
I think it's a total of like maybe 100 films get released here a year, maybe.
If that, about 100.
Not counting their own, right?
Not counting their own.
Not counting their own.
No.
Not counting domestic. These are 100 international films.
Yeah, like about 100 international a year. Yeah.
Yep.
But like I said, this lawsuit can be really bad. And
I think this lawsuit can be bad, but this is nothing new for the creators of Superman, like the Schuster family. They've been suing DC since the 70s. But this is a wrinkle to it, but the whole thing of suing them over Superman, that's nothing new.
No, but like I said, the last lawsuit, not definitively, but mostly definitively, was favored in favor of DC because of a loose pre-draft contract that was written before Schuster died, and it's basically been said it's the closest thing to a binding document. They all said they basically also said this is too complicated. We're basically stopping it here because this is as close as we're going to get to a confirmation that Schuster gave up his rights.
Yes, man, don't mind me. What is a Superboy lawsuit doing?
Okay. The Superboy.
That's a separate case.
No, that was no. It's not. They were connected.
Yep.
Okay.
There was a brief time when it was stated that Siegel and Schuster created and owned the rights, and for a brief time, a judge gave it to them. During the time they were appealing that decision, which eventually got overturned, DC kept Superboy away. That's why we had Superboy Prime become Superman Prime. That's why Connor stayed dead longer than usual. That's why Legion of Superheroes had Superman instead of Superboy. All that stuff was because of that. Or why in the behind-the-scenes stuff for Superman Doomsday, they had to keep calling Superboy a kid and couldn't even show him.
Wow, that's depressing.
Yeah, and despite the fact that Siegel and Schuster didn't create the Connor Kent Superboy, they created Clark Kent Superboy.
No, but the name was still something they just didn't want to take the risk on. And also, they also knew judges would not care about the difference. If he's Superman, if he's called Superboy, he pretty much has Superman's powers, which by that point he did. They're not going to care.
So complicated.
Okay, the Supreme Court stuff, I don't understand why. The Supreme Court, I don't understand for Supreme Court. That's even a thing.
It's a bunch of legal stuff. Half the time, basically, if you try to understand something, unless you're a lawyer, you probably could not understand what the heck they're saying anyways because they're lawyers.
Yeah.
They're basically running their mouths a lot about stuff. It's standard lawyer talk.
And most don't know comics, so they're just going to be like, does he have Superman's powers and Superman's powers? Is he called Superboy? Then that's it.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you guys this about the ones released for the trailer for this Superman movie. What do you guys think of the actor who plays Superman in his suit?
I like it. And I think this proved what a lot of people were theorizing, that the suit looked baggy in the normal shoot footage because they were going to CGI tighten it up because they want him to actually move in the suit, not be like being able to move.
I know that the one thing a lot of people were very critical of the trailer was Guy Gardner.
He looks perfect. He looks perfect.
It's
Yeah,
perfect.
people just got, oh, it's a 60-year-old Guy Gardner who's got a bow cut with that weird
Oh, no,
haircut.
he always had a bowl cut.
Not in recent times, he didn't have that.
Not recent time, but back in, it's clear when how you have Max Lord, and I'm positive Max Lord's not going to be a villain. He's going back to early Bwahaha Max and everything. That's why they also kept Guy that way. The appeal to the Bwahaha era.
Yes.
Wasn't
not to-
sorry.
Not to mention setting up Infinite Crisis, Maxwell Lord would require way too much setup, at least
Yeah.
for this one film.
And according to Kevin McGuire, I met him. First time I met him. He was not a fan of turning Max Lord to a villain. He hated
Nope.
that.
Yeah.
They all did. They all did. You know what the worst part was? Right as they made him a villain was right when actually no, right before they made him a villain. Right when they killed off Sue was during the second of the Super Buddies miniseries. I still cannot believe it's not the Justice League, which had Sue. They think she's pregnant. She's not. What happened at Identity Crisis? She was pregnant. And it ends with, by that point, they knew what they were going to do with Max. So it ends with Max and Ted standing next to each other, smiling and laughing. When you know that, like, not long afterward, he just blows his brains out.
You're gonna have it. Go on hell, Max.
I think it was poor timing. I think the issues released before. I think they were written before that one shot was
Oh, yeah.
written.
Yeah.
So I think in that point it was poor timing.
It was definitely
If I'm going to blame somebody for it, I'm not going to blame the creators of. I'm not going to blame Jeff Johns for that.
Nope.
I'm not going to blame Keep Giving I blame DC marketing for that.
Yep.
I
Definitely.
know this trailer also featured Mr. Terrific, which
Yep.
I got to admit he looks really good. I like the look for him.
Oh,
His mask looks a little weird, but still really good.
Hot girl.
Hot Girl, I think they're taking inspiration from recent look for her.
Yep.
Metamorpho, he looks really cool.
Oh,
I just have a
yeah.
question
And like I
about
said,
that
sorry.
topic, JD.
Sure, Najee, you had a question for us?
About that topic, because is this still happening to this day? Like, people, I'm not gonna say here, but you know, the whole streaming wars and whole cable couldn't.
It has-
and stuff.
It has died
Don't-
down. I'll
'Cause
answer your question.
I know that Israel Matt be delisting a lot of stuff and selling off to Netflix, Tubi, all that stuff. But
Licensing,
stuff.
licensing and
Yeah.
distribution, yes.
by delisting their stuff, all Israel Matt, and putting
Until
it
we-
into,
Until we have anything concrete, I cannot confirm nor deny that.
okay.
Question. This is character that's sent on the American flag. Does anyone know who this guy is? Because I don't know who this guy is.
No
I-
idea what this anime is.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what anime people are trying to get into. It's so leveling. I don't think this is the star of that show. I have no idea because I've never seen it. But look, I've read about it. It looks interesting. It looks interesting. I own some of the manga. I have the manga next to me, but I think it's a good series.
What does that? I just know it's movie theater bringing up. Yes, there is a DC Sonic crossover coming up.
I am so happy about that. I'm excited about that crossover. I can't wait.
So,
Yep,
Yeah, you guys are April.
that is coming up. I can't wait for that. That looks like it's going to be fun. And
movie-
Superman Warworld already got an omnibus.
Yeah.
So is you, man.
Yeah, already have.
Now we're
one.
not gonna go through the. We usually wait till the middle of the month where the majority of all the sites come in, and then we can usually schedule things to where we can get Talati on the
I'm
show.
excited. Okay, thoughts. I gotta ask. Thoughts on Dan Slott coming over?
It's weird.
Ooh.
I'm thinking like, okay, so when people think of him in recent times, what people think of
talking
first?
about-
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think about She-Hulk. I personally think about She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Probably like in the last few years, people think of Spider-Man because he spent a long time on Spider-Man.
Here's what I think. May I say what I think?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Robert.
think DC has been shown very regularly, with some exceptions. They keep a lot of the writers who went hog wild at Marvel. DC keeps them on a leash for the most part. The exception was Bendis, but that was because of a stupid contract he had to give him too much freedom. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure. Look at Aaron. Look at Mariko Tamaki. Look at so many of these other creators. they are going to keep even Slot on a leash. It is positive they're going to keep him on a leash. He is going to probably bring out the better stuff out of him.
Interesting collection you have, Robert.
Oh, that is just a sample. I still have way more.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
I got. I'm trying to get rid of some of my
Guys,
stuff. I have too
I
much.
think
You have too much? I have not enough.
But
yeah,
movie theater
Uh,
king, you've been quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Anything you would like to add to the conversation?
I'm mute, so.
Yeah, he's mute.
guys,
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, Najee, go ahead.
I have to go. I guess I'll sweep. Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good,
Right.
man. Thank you for coming on.
Now, movie. You still want to talk? I saw you on mute for a second.
Oh no, it was just something down the list I wanted to show you guys. I'll find it. Hold on.
All right.
How's that story coming along? You were telling me about it.
Oh, I'm in college right now. I had to put it on hold for a bit, but I keep revising.
Hey, man, congratulations!
Congrats.
Keep pushing through.
I want to ask you guys about something. Have you guys noticed the in the current X book by Jed McKay, where Scott Summers is really thin?
Yeah,
I have noticed that.
why?
I have no idea why they made him thin for.
He's, Slim. That's why.
The other person called him is Wolverine.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm joking.
Can you scroll up a little bit, please? I know something for that Action Comics issue. I know it's not John Ridley who writes that. Let's see who writes that.
Go up a little more. Go up a little more.
Yeah, go up.
G.
Willow
Wilson, and this is the final two-parter. This is the final stuff of the Superstars. Meaning after these two issues, they're going to bring on a regular writer again.
Who's the regular going to be? If it's Dan
We don't know. Okay, first of all, it's not Dan Slott. He's got
No,
his own book.
I
Remember?
said Dan Jurgens. I said Dan Jurgens. That's why.
Have-
Jurgens left the book back, I think it was in 2018. I think it was.
Yeah, for
2018,
Bendis, I don't think it's going to be Jurgens. We don't know who, but I just said after this two-parter, we'll find out. It just started.
That's true. Yeah, but
No.
maybe.
Okay, it's not going to be Jurgens. I'm positive on that one.
Who's even going to be?
I don't know. Again, I'm not
Okay.
gonna guess. I'm not gonna figure
This
it out.
Absolute Batman book has been surprisingly really good.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of the current artist.
Who?
Yeah.
Martin?
Marcos Martin, whatever. Why did they change the art? I thought Dragotta was what to be staying on.
I
Yeah,
have no idea.
that's a good question. I like the premise of Absolute Batman. I think it's really cool. The only thing I'm not paying for is the price tag.
Hell yeah, that.
It has gone. It's got. I couldn't even tell. Didn't it used to be $3.99 before this new guest artist? Because he's taking over for a two-parter.
Yeah, it should still be $3.99. No, wait, no, they're always been $4.99. It's constantly been $4.99.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I see Absolute Bat Wonder Woman there. I did ask Kelly Thompson on Twitter about this. Is it going to be a story that explains the warrior tattoo that she has? Yes, that is going to be explained.
Oh, isn't that part of the magical arm?
Yes. I heard about this book. I'm like, okay, Al Ewing was a good choice. I have no problem with Al Ewing writing this book.
No, but Joe being the main lantern, I'm not sure about.
Wait, is this Joe Mullen? I thought this was an original character.
It's supposed to be based on Joe. It's supposed to be based on Joe.
Oh, okay.
Absolute Flash, I'm very excited.
Absolute Flash, I am interested because it is basically what if Wally exists but there was no Flash legacy?
Yes. But I may have excited that.
I am curious.
Interesting choice to have Lemire write this book. It's been a while since he wrote a solo book.
It
Yeah.
has.
Yep.
And I want to say
I
this.
think the last solo book for DC I can think of top of my head is maybe Animal
Yep. And Octavia, I was going to say quickly. Oh, first off, before I go to that, what do you guys see with the fact that this Absolute Martian Manhunter is not going to get the full 2 years? It's just a 6-year testing. I think they probably realized this is too weird to guarantee a success.
It looks like some 60s with the way this artwork looks. Like the style. It's like,
Yeah, I think they probably realized this is not going to be guaranteeing a 2-year stint.
yeah. How Rodriguez, I've heard of the artist. Who is Denzi Camp? Who the heck is that?
I know who he is. You're Ultimate. The new Ultimate book. Amazing.
Okay.
I was going to say was, Tevi especially, keep up with Flash currently. Saint-Pierre, it looks like Saint-Pierre has been told to change things up because it has been acting a bit more heroic lately. It's not none of this meta sci-fi stuff or whatever. It's actually been handling things. It's still nowhere near as good as Adams, but it's clearly they're course correcting things.
I'm gonna meet Jeremy Adams on Friday. I'm hopeful. I need to find the book basically from the sign.
We're at
Make Orlando.
That's cool.
And Dan Slott, and Movie Theater King says Dan Slott is going to have an all-in special edition comic for the Absolute Universe.
Yeah, we know that's for Free Comic Book Day. Yeah,
Absolute Universe.
Oh, is this Hush too?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is Hush 2. It kicks off in 115. I want to say it kicks off in 158, but I could be wrong.
Now, did you hear that?
Yeah, prior to this book coming out, they had to delay the Batman book to give Jim Lee some time.
Yep. Did you guys hear that they're going to do another 6 issues, but it's going to be in next year?
Wait,
Yep.
what?
Yeah. They basically, the hype has been so big. They have such good ideas. They decided they're going to do more, but they're obviously going to do it next year.
Let's go on and read a cartoon show quick.
What is this?
It's
Superman and
Oh.
Batman.
Superman Adventures Compendium. He's talking about in the comments.
Oh,
All right.
Now, this book in particular, I've always enjoyed this book. I don't like. Unlike other people problems with Wade, there's no denying the fact he's not lost his touch as a writer.
Nope.
He is not. He is not.
He's not. He's a great
Nope.
writer.
And look at JLU.
Amazing.
Which surprisingly, it's not story arcs. It's all standalone issues.
What's that?
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I'm wary how much longer is this book going to last without Dan Mora on artwork.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
Dan Moore is still on art. You mean Wade
No.
on writing?
No. I'm talking about World's Finest. Mora has been off because Mora can only do so much. He's doing Superman. He's doing Justice League Unlimited. And I think he's had some other books. Look, right here it says Clayton Henry. In the past couple issues, it's been a completely different artist. He's pretty much done with World's Finest. He's moved on.
That's fair. Okay, the World Finest has been
Yeah,
good.
but I'm saying that. But what do you think World's Finest will last long without him?
I think it'll last fine.
I give it a couple of months if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Like,
because
you want to place Dan Mora with a different artist? Why not Jorge Jimenez?
He's a
I
good
can see
solution.
that.
He's a
yeah,
good
but
alternative.
he's already doing stuff already. He's working on that super special. Plus, I don't think he has Dan Mora's speed. Because good boy, Dan Mora is pretty much this generation's Mark Bagley for speed but quality.
That is true.
Mark Bagley is still working, but I haven't seen the books. I think the last book I saw him on was Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I'm saying no. But remember how Bagley used to have speed and quality back in the 80s and 90s, where he
Anyway,
would
bangs.
just chunk things out. By the time he did Trinity at DC, he was like, yeah, I'm nowhere near as fast as I used to be. That's why, like he did half a book each issue.
I want to ask you about this, Robert. DC does this thing where instead of putting numbers in it, just put the year and annual. I am not a fan of that. I think it's a bad idea.
I personally don't mind it because it makes it clear which annual it takes place in. Plus, they dropped doing the numbering their annuals long ago.
I've never been a fan of it. At least Purposeful does it.
I think the other reason is they kept on doing new annual number 1 to match the different run, and they soon probably realized this is going to get confusing.
So they said drop. I said screw it. We're not
Yeah.
gonna do that anymore.
I like
Now-
that for now. Tom Taylor, I know he just started.
Mhm.
I have asked him on Twitter what's planned for 1100. He never answered back about it, so don't know what the plan is for 1100.
Who knows?
But as for the Asima, I'm not a fan of the design, but the story, it's interesting. It feels like what's the best comparison I can make here? It feels like that one episode in Batman Brave and the Bold where Bruce confronts Joe Chill,
Yep.
but with a little bit of that one Batman Beyond episode, the return of Ra's al Ghul and Talia's
Yeah.
body.
Yep.
It kind of feels like a Frankenstein's monster of those two concepts.
Mhm.
That
Right.
makes sense.
And I just can't get into it. Like the history's not really grabbing me. It feels like
Still better than Ram V, though. Still better than Ram V.
Don't get me wrong. Compared to Ram V, it's an improvement. Don't get me wrong.
And again, Ram V's not bad, but his detective one was so. I'm trying to be artsy fartsy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Ram V literally made a one man, the comic equivalent of a one man show, and it dragged out for 2 years.
It dragged way too damn long.
Yeah, the first comic I ever saw him on was when he did Just Like Dark and Catwoman.
Amazing.
Pretty good, not bad.
And but the fact is also we said his Swamp Thing is still the main Swamp Thing currently.
Wait, what happened?
Levi?
Yeah, I did see him pop up in Justice League recently.
Yeah, that was Levi.
Oh, good Harley Quinn book.
Now, this writer who they picked to replace Teeny Howard, I personally have never heard of this person at all.
Not
so
good. It's not been good. It's not been
One
good.
at a time, gentlemen. Robert?
It's not been good at all. It's been just as bad as Teeny.
I'm not surprised. The book's been going downhill ever since.
Do you miss Stephanie Phillips in the book?
What?
Do you miss Stephanie Phillips?
Yes. I liked her run very well. And I'm sorry, this upcoming fart comic, what the hell?
How are they doing? It's so dumb.
It's an April Fool's issue, but
why?
Why?
You know they did a rub and smell before during the Palmiotti Connor era, and that one, you know what their main rub was? Weed.
What?
Oh. But apparently that caused a lot of issues. You had people actually were taking on airplanes, and people thought they were sneaking weed on board, so they had to change it to mint.
That's hilarious.
Yes, and I did ask Jen Palmiotti and Amanda Carter why they stopped doing Harley Quinn. Amanda was burnout.
Yeah, burnout. That's exactly what I heard. It was burnout. They loved working on it, but it's just like they basically told everything they wanted to tell.
And in the case of Amanda, she told me this: Jimmy is a much faster writer than she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point I read a book so
Whatever happened with Justin Gray? Whatever happened with Justin Gray and those two?
He kind of just fell off the earth now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I think I heard something. I think he does comic. I think he's created her own books.
Right,
Yeah,
but it's still weird.
That's the last I heard from some comic creators I talked to about him. I asked Jim Palmiotti about him. He does create own works, paper films.
Catwoman, I don't give a damn.
Now I do like this writer, Tony Gerwin. I think she's really good. She's really good.
Took over from Donny Cates on Thor.
Yes,
Good or bad?
I believe she did do Carnage, but she's not doing Carnage right now. The book is being launched under Charles Scholl, which is interesting. Which is the first superhero book he's done in 5 years.
Yep. By the way, I actually met him recently, and you know what he said? Well, also he has that Daredevil book coming out too.
Daredevil actually could be good.
Golden Hell with McNiven.
Ventures. He's a good writer. He's another really good writer.
But this run has not been doing it.
It's not good.
No, let him cook.
Dex is always doing the cover, not the interior. It's Francis Pacofla, who's a really good artist. I love this guy's artwork.
Yep, but as I was trying,
I think he's Italian, isn't he?
What?
I think he's Italian.
Oh yeah. But as I was trying to say a little earlier about
Story.
yeah, going back, like I said, she took over Donny Cates' run and everything, and with Still A. He told me he would like to come back to DC eventually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I did. Now, here's the thing: if you ever hear the woman speak, she sounds like she has an Irish accent. So I think she's Norwegian.
I think she, given the spelling of her name, would not be surprised.
Yeah, I have met this guy. I know Tim has met him too.
Yep.
That's very, very nice guy. His run for Action saved the comic from cancellation.
Wait, what? They were going to cancel it?
No, I think that Bendis nearly killed the book, and he practically saved it.
Okay, they were never going to cancel Action. Action is never going to go anywhere.
Well, I think it wasn't popular with a lot of people. That's why.
No, definitely was not popular, but he brought the numbers back. Oh, we got the last day of Lex Luthor finally wrapping up.
That took
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that was because Brian Hitch have gotten too busy with so many other things going on.
I think he's working on one of the Ghost Machine books, Red Coat.
Yeah, Red Coat. But
I met Brian Hitch.
Yep.
You guy's British.
Yep. By the way,
I didn't know he was actually British. I knew his name was sounded like English, but I didn't know he spoke with a British accent. I never knew that until I met him. I did ask him this: why his JLA book? You remember that Jason book he did before he did his run for Justice League?
Yep.
He told me it was a lot of like editorial stuff, and the rebirth of why the book got delayed.
That explains a lot.
Yes.
By the way, Nick, question: what's your stance on the Wonder Woman book currently?
It's
still selling better than Conrad and Cloonan, at least.
the only problem I have with the book is Sovereign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone sucks.
I'm just.
But
I just.
I hope somebody kills him because, like, actually kills him. Actually has him stay dead, not come back a few issues later.
we already know though he's destined to stay locked up and appear in the future. That's what's been going on with Trinity this whole time.
At least based on the Flash Forward in issue 100, but Flash Forwards have been retconned before, so I'm
Yes.
not really, I'm holding.
But it's been made clear in other backup stories she's still talking to him.
Why?
Oh, because that's the story you want to tell, Tevia.
Oh.
Yeah, Tom King usually has some weird ideas. I know that I've asked about this, where when he writes characters, he gives them PTSD. That's not really true. I have asked him about, there was a rumor I heard, I think Teddy had heard about this rumor too, where a friend of ours mentioned to us the first issue of Grace Abbott had to be recalled due to it got the attention of the CIA because they're using stuff they use in the comic. I asked him about that. It was a complete myth.
Yep,
That's what I thought.
yes.
Yeah, and he was asked about that. And like Strange Ventures, when he made where basically like the whole thing with the war crimes thing, according to Tom King, that was a cover story for him betraying Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The covers for the book, what was actually the artist's idea.
Yep, that's what I've heard. You know, I've had him on my show recently. You know,
Wait,
one
didn't
thing
he-
he meant. You know, one
didn't
thing he
Tom
mentioned.
King-
Sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
Didn't Tom King do a story a few years ago where they tried to pair Gardner and Ice back together?
No.
And they just
First off, Gardner and Ice are always together. But then during his Human Target, he then
Thank you.
portrayed Guy as an abuser, which he would never lay a hand on Ice, ever. But because Tom King wanted to portray Ice as this femme fatale type of character, he decided it would be, oh no, he smacks her all the time.
And the fact like half the issues where Christopher Chance was in bed with her.
Which I have a feeling Chance was his self-insert.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, the thing with Christopher Chance is, like, him writing him made sense because he's sort of a spy character.
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah,
He
he
is a
is.
spy. He always was a spy, yeah.
Now, the thing is, I have never met the guy who created Christopher Chance, Lee Nguyen. Never met the guy who passed away. I have met one of the artists who worked with him, Bernie Redstein.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Right? Sad he passed away 6 months after I met him.
Aw.
God damn it.
I hate when that. By the way, Nick, want to hear something interesting that King told me about his run currently? With the exception of the Absolute Power tie-in issue, everything's been from Sovereign's perspective, and we'll eventually get things from Diana's perspective soon.
How long?
I don't know.
The Sovereign arc itself, I could see going no more than 20 issues, but really, this just wasn't a good storyline. Like, honest to God, you revolve.
And why is Diana just sitting on her butt lately?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Now that is largely because the Amazons were politically targeted. That led to Amazon's attack, and she doesn't want to risk an international.
Amazon's back with an exclamation point.
I'm talking about the past few literally few issues recently, where she's having everyone else do the work for her.
Now,
Yeah.
admittedly, I fell off.
She's pregnant.
No, she's not. No,
Wait,
she's
what?
not. She created the baby from clay.
Yep,
They
similar
put
to
it in her
her.
belly.
No. Just turned
That's
into
all.
real.
Yeah, just
So let me
that's what it looked like to me.
so let me get this straight. Somehow, Diana got a lock of Steve Trevor's hair before he passed away.
And
then-
no. She took the hair from the thread of his fate. Yeah, don't ask.
What the?
Hey, basically, King overly complicated. King overly complicated it all. But basically, yeah, she made a baby from a lock of her hair and his hair, basically, and that's who the current Trinity is.
Ow.
She's not pregnant. She never was pregnant or anything like that. She just simply made a new baby out of clay.
With Steve Trevor's hair and blood.
No, not blood, just his hair.
Oh, yeah, his hair. And
But of course, a lot of fans are now ticked off that, oh, her daughter has a man's gene in it. I'm not kidding.
Oh. I thought that was a
So
joke.
dumb.
Damn it.
No, I'm not kidding. There are a lot of people saying because Diana never had a man's gene in her, if you don't count the Zeus origin, if you count the clay origin, why should her daughter have a man's gene in it?
That's so dumb.
To be fair, that is a fair point, though.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah,
Potential demonetization aside, this story is very lackluster, and I'm just like, it was going somewhere, but the only way the story could work is if you did not catch up on Wonder Woman, because back in Rebirth they did not end on good terms. Steve and Trevor. I mean, then Wonder Woman went to Valhalla.
During Widow Wilson's run, yeah.
Yeah. And also, speaking of the guy, where is Wonder Woman's brother? Where is he?
Okay. Tavia.
He was
He
shelved.
Yeah, he was shelved. He was sent to limbo with the Dark Gods. If you actually read the arc, that's what they made very clear during that.
I believe he was a creation of James Robinson, who.
No, Jeff Johns first, and
Jeff
Robinson
Johns
expanded
first.
him.
Yeah, here's the weird thing about that run. I think that was like Robinson's last major comic he worked on.
Yep.
Yes.
Not anything since then. I don't know if he's taken a break or anything because he's been quiet for years.
The only thing he's talked about is on Instagram, and that's usually when because he's been involved with he's involved with all of Jeff Johns' stuff. He was involved with Stargirl.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I love that book.
Yeah, he was up. He's the reason why they kept Shade the way he was because it's based off of his Shade.
Yeah, I was hyped by that.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened with him with his recent Marvel work,
Ooh,
where
What is
where,
it,
like if you know, like any book he worked on, except Fantastic Four, all the books he worked on lasted maybe like a year before getting axed.
Of course.
and it was a good run. I'll admit, I may not keep up with Marvel, but I pop back for certain creative teams. But that Fantastic Four run was pretty good for the most part. I hate that.
Fantastic Four, you had Scarlet Witch, which was really good.
Yep.
Right?
Let's see, there was Squadron Supreme.
Yep.
Not a big fan of Squadron Supreme, but I gave his run a shot.
There's only two books I'm currently reading: Bill Kenny Johnson's Hulk and Immortal Thor, and I cannot say I am still impressed that Al Ewing actually ties in the Dan Jurgens run by bringing Magni, his possible future son, to the present day.
I saw that. That was really good.
I love that. The fact is, he cares, whereas Jason Aaron ripped off a lot of Jurgens' run and yet acted like it was all special, unique.
I'm not sure what he did for Jurgens. What did he rip off in Jurgens on his run?
Girl Thor, Thor actually became Odin
I
dying.
think that actually started in a What If comic.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I know. But I'm also going to say is Odin dying and Thor becoming king. They don't even bring it up. They do not bring up what happened during that era.
Wait, but didn't Donny T also bring back Donald Blake, who went evil and Psycho?
Yeah, okay.
No, that was Donny Coast.
What?
That was Donny Coast. I mean,
Donny Cates that did that, yes. But I'm saying though was that Aaron, like I said, but that was a big one, the whole Odin dying and everything. But they don't ever reference what when Jurgens did, because the exact same thing happened. Odin died, and Thor became the new Allfather.
technically, with Aaron's one, I remember it. Odin didn't die in his run. He died when Donny Coast did the book.
Technically, he didn't die. Technically, he didn't.
He retired.
No, I'm saying no. But still, the whole notion of him becoming king and all that, still, just like
That still happened.
And I met Jason Aaron. I did ask him how you feel about, all that the thing, all damage did to Thor being undone with basically the first arc of Donny Coast's run, where he becomes the Herald of Galactus. He had no problem with it. He had zero problem with it.
Well, hey, he undid a lot of what Cates did for in Venom, so turnabout.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Donny Cates' run for Fennec. That was an amazing book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Ewing has lost me. It is so complicated.
It makes no sense.
Didn't Donny Cates end him in a coma due to a car accident? Or am I confusing him with
Okay. From what I've heard, yes, that happened. But you know what the big reason why he's never going to work at Marvel again? They gave him notice. He was going to start a lot of stuff, including the Ultimates. Before Hickman had it, it was Cates who was supposed to start to handle the Ultimates, and they gave him an advance, a big advance. And then once he dropped the book, they said, "Okay, give us your advance back." No,
Oh.
he spent most of it on his rehab and everything, or something. No, they helped pay for his rehab, but he also refused to give back the advance. So
because he got dropped from the book. Yeah, I can,
no. He asked to be dropped, and they asked for their advance back because of that.
That sucks.
I know at the time of his accident, he was working on Hulk and Thor. If you read the books, each like he just disappears for a while. I didn't know the accident until like several months later.
Yep, and now like I said, Phil K. Johnson, I really like his Thor stuff, but again, his Hulk stuff, it's been really good. It feels more like a proper continuation because you know the funny thing about Cates and Cates' Hulk run, it was written before Immortal Hulk.
It was. I thought it was
Originally, and basically, it was written because, and then it was then decided he would take. It was always promised when Immortal Hulk started, he would pick up afterward. So he wrote this beforehand. So that's why it feels so like it doesn't make sense. You're like, wait, how do we lead from here to there?
As far as I've heard about his run for Hulk, it does not ignore what Al Ewing did.
No, they had that. It didn't get referenced until midway through the Banner of War.
What?
And then even that it was just a reference, like, oh yeah, we came to grips with each other, thought we were getting along. But then Hulk somehow was able to cause all these people to Hulk out, and now I hate him and I'm going to trap him. Even though it was made very clear, Hulk is a child, so you're basically torturing a child.
Yeah, his run for Hulk was bizarre. Like I remember one issue where he ended up in a different universe.
Yep.
And where in this universe there was no Hulk, it was just abominations.
Yeah, all of them were hulked out.
I didn't like that story.
That was like really bizarre because he met he's kind of like, oh, we have a Hulk over here. It's like, no, we actually abominations.
Yep, and then you have a spider monster that's like a spider Hulk.
Yep.
That actually was something that was not original for him because I remember seeing it in bullet points.
Yep.
Speaking of Spider-Hulk,
Hold on, guys. Movie Theater King, you were saying?
Speaking of Hulk, do you guys think the new movie Captain America: New World Order should just been like an Avengers movie or a Hulk movie?
No.
Like the Red Hulk versus Green Hulk?
And I'll tell you why, MTK. I'll tell you why. Because you could tell this movie is basically just a follow-up to Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the main premise of this movie. Trying to add Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, it just would have been adding too many.
Now dealing with his villain and dealing with Ross, that's fine because because they were already building up to Ross becoming president by having become a senator earlier.
The setup is there.
Secretary of State.
Yeah, Secretary of State, right? But still, the buildup was there. This felt like something they were building up for a while. It was just a slow burn.
Yeah, and the only reason why that he changed because his retractor passed away.
William Hurt, yeah.
Yeah,
And they kind of explain of why he looks different.
I love it. Cheer the Mets lose the election.
That's funny.
But
That's actually a reference to Jeff Loeb's Hulk, the way he wrote, because he even knows when Ross became Hulk, no mustache.
Yeah, the mustache just disappeared, which is funny because Peter David did a what if and he kept the mustache.
That's funny.
Yeah. Though they did have another Hulk, Red Hulk, who did have a mustache. It was what Al Ewing created.
Yep.
And he actually popped up in a recent book where he somehow still has Red Hulk powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
weird.
And, Ross is alive again.
Yeah, he's been killed off a couple times over the years. first time he died was later retcon was LMD.
Yeah. No. Actually, no. Or I don't know about if that first one, but eventually there was a point where he did die, and then the leader brought him back from the dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Godzilla!
the guy-
About this.
I love it. I love this. And
This is really interesting because I pointed out to somebody about this. This is the first intercompany crossover for Marvel Comics since Transformers versus New Avengers.
Yeah.
It's covered awesome.
Oh no, I know what about the Ultraman crossover?
That's not Ultraman. That's
No, no.
Jaguar. Ultraman, that was something else because I think they had a license to publish that.
Okay, but still though, yeah, this is the plus because this is more the traditional Godzilla, and DC has the MonsterVerse Godzilla with the upcoming Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2.
Which I actually read that first miniseries. That was awesome.
It was, but the
Yeah,
fact we're having both companies doing something with
Yeah.
Godzilla this year.
That's why I'm not excited about Joe Kelly running this thing. I have no hope.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Joe Kelly, Nick Bradshaw. I mean, that is a good creative team right there.
Yep.
That's Joe Kelly running.
Who was that left?
Uh,
Yeah, about that relaunch. Joe Kelly, that's going to be an interesting choice because I know he's done Amazing Spider-Man in the past.
Well, he's currently doing the current stuff.
He's doing a Kelly with his bad.
Another Deadpool kills Marvel.
What do you know? You had the Killology. You had the Killology, but now you have the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe trilogy because they did the second that kills again, and now we got one last time. So it's a double trilogy.
Yeah, and I love the fact they have Colin Bunn because you ever notice though, like in the last 20 years, almost every single Deadpool miniseries is written by him.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
about. Just
Yep.
about.
And yet, it's funny enough, they keep on screwing him over about whether or not the Deadpool Venom stuff is canon or not. They keep jerking him around on that.
I don't get that. Why does it look like
Yeah,
that?
I heard a story related to his Venom work, like of why his run ended at 42. The alleged rumor I had heard from a friend of Timmy of mine that the editor of Superior Spider-Man was jealous of the fact that Venom was outselling Superior Spider-Man, so he had the book got axed. Scarlet Spider.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Has anybody actually read Gemma K's Avengers book?
I have not.
I dropped
I have
out.
not.
I'll say this. It's better in writing than Aaron's run, but it's not as good at getting you engaged.
That's
Fair
fair.
enough. I
That's
understand.
Wait, what do you think of the Impossible City stuff?
No.
Interesting idea, having the Avengers headquarters as like an orbital thing, because this is the second time this ever happened for Marvel. Because the last Marvel superhero team who did this, who was not Alpha Flight, was Secret Avengers. We would recommend it. They had the space station called Lighthouse.
Yep. Now I will say this: I am so interested in this whole having Black Cat working with Kang.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yep.
about this.
Superior Avengers. Yeah, this is Doom's Avengers team. It would look like it's probably like. Is
I gotta
that?
say this,
Doc Ock.
I am
That's
getting so tired of Marvel just coming up with these superfluous miniseries just to throw out to some new blood creators and everything. And sometimes it is amount to nothing. It's like, why are these books existing?
Steve Fox is a writer. I've heard some people are not fans of his writing.
Steve Fox. That's his name.
Nice.
Steve Fox.
Yes.
That's his name.
I've heard that he is not a very popular writer with comic fans right now.
Yeah.
Luca Massara?
No, Stevie Fox.
Yeah, the one.
Oh,
He's playing
oh,
Superior
right.
Avengers.
Yeah, he's not popular. No, he's
It's
not.
not good.
I think he's okay. I don't think he's terrible.
No, not terrible. Just
Okay.
aggressive. mid.
How would you compare him to Leia Williams? Would you say is worse?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Will did bad, but they did much worse.
Well, she did do an X Factor book, which I thought that was really good.
Yeah, but that was more of an exception.
I
to the
get it.
rule, Nick.
Leia tries way too hard. When she actually
Thank you.
has something that she loves, I can name you 2 issues that were connected that you could prove that she had a good heart in it. What if magic became Sorcerer Supreme and Doctor Strange the end. They're both connected.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you mean this book?
No, yes, this one. I've went over both. Basically,
I think she also did. I think she does a book for a book for Reasons book for DC.
Yeah, Power Girl. I do not know why that book is still selling. Why is that book? That's the one where they named her from Karen to Paige because they do not like the stipulation for Karen. And the way in universe why she changed her name, John said if people were calling her PG for Power Girl, hey Paige, what? PG, Paige. Hey, I like it.
That is so.
That makes John a dumb. That makes John an idiot.
What I'm going to ask about that is Jared Conlon because he's the one who created the character. I'm going to see him on Friday.
Yeah,
I'm in before. Amazing guy. Did you hear a couple years ago the guy was going to health issues?
Oh yeah, I did. Also, here's the other thing though. I can tell you that no one cares about the Paige thing because even when Jeff Johns was working on JSA, yes, she would have the Power Girl outfit, but they would still call her Karen.
Good. We can fix that.
So I tell you, most people don't care about the Paige thing except for Leia.
Oh, did you see that they changed her outfit in the book where it's basically the outfit that debuted in Supergirl, I think it was volume 619 with the blue gloves?
The super jacket, or is this a different costume? I'll admit I fell off.
It's from Supergirl New 52 run in issue 19. That's where she debuted that costume she's wearing now. It's a costume.
Hey, I'm gonna start turning in, guys. But before I do,
okay.
Can I give you a book recommendation for you guys?
That costume.
Sure. Oh, okay.
All right. Here, you guys did one book you guys should ever check out.
Batman Death by Design.
I read it.
Really good book.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wait, you said you read it, Nick?
Yes, I read it several years ago.
Really good, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, just look at the artwork here.
It was so good.
Perfect.
It's one of those books I kind of wish the artist was still working today on stuff.
Hey, Taylor, doesn't he more of a design, an architect or something?
He's more of a pencilist than an artist.
Yes. There's some, like, basically I have heard this from Dixon on his show. He says some major comic artists don't want to work at companies anymore because the page rate went down. Like how much they get paid. They apparently get paid more for sketches than they do than the actual like.
Oh, the guy's a British artist. He's a British artist.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut out. I was just saying he's a British artist who's worked
Nick,
on stuff. Oh.
Nick, please continue.
Yeah, where page rates were higher than they were currently, but how much people get paid per page because Marvel and DC cut that to like barely anything at all. So that's the reason why a lot of these major artists don't work at DC and Marvel because of that.
No surprise.
Yeah, this is from Dixon because Dixon himself is not blacklisted per se.
No.
He used to work in comics, but he's not working more with DC right now.
Yeah.
Last I heard he is doing he's working for Riververse.
Yep.
He did,
yep.
Which I recommend, by the way. Great comic line.
No comment. But I'll say, you know someone else who's done working at DC? Christopher Priest.
Wait, why?
Because he really did not like how they treat him out. Some of his books got like Black Adam and all that stuff got some real big attention with the Eisners. And yet, what happens? They don't bring him up there to gather his book at all. And he basically like, I'm not saying you guys are being are racist, but your actions are coming off as racist.
Oh.
DC never finished collecting his run in trade. They only put one book out.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well. He is a great guy, but he's actually now working at Joe Quesada's company.
I think he also works at Dynamite as well. He does Vampire.
That too, but he's going to be doing Quesada's basically following in Jeff Johns' footsteps of getting big names for his company.
Pretty much.
Okay, we'll see you guys.
Have a good one, Robert. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
But I feel like that's a place to call it, man. 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Lord have mercy.
But I feel like we didn't get talk to Mark, okay, we can getting far flags, but maybe we can say that in another video.
Yeah, just DM it to me on X, Tevia, and I'll try to save it for a separate episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can do that.
But while we're wrapping up, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Nick, anything you would like to promote or what you got coming up on the channel?
I have some anime videos coming up. I have a few anime videos coming up tomorrow. I'm doing The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really Love You, Blue Exorcist of Freya, Headhunting the World, some comic corners, and I have a new anime I'm going to be starting up tomorrow.
Nice. Nick, once again, I know this was relatively last minute, but thanks for coming on to the show.
You're welcome.
And Tevia, anything you would like to promote?
Yeah, I just uploaded on Twitch. I think my Ninja Gaiden Purdue Part 5, even though it's not a short Purdue short series. I'm doing Medical League Vendetta. I'm still gonna beat that game. That game is so long, and I need to beat the final boss of that game, so I'll see that game. After reviewed, I'm going to review the Attack on Titan movie. Well, movie this month, not this month, April 10th, which apparently going to be the two specials slammed together the movie. So that can be interesting series.
Did you hear about the fan version of the ending?
Yeah, I'm not there intrigued about that. I'm really sure I had a good time.
It is out. You actually find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, because people don't like the ending of the original manga, so they created an ending. It's one of two. They also did for Jujutsu Kaisen as well because they like the ending, so they created their own ending for the series.
True
Definitely.
dedication for a fan base. True dedication.
Yeah, indeed. But
As for
sorry.
oh, I'm sorry, Tevia, you were still going?
Yeah. But other than that, I think that's all I got so far. I think the one more video I'll do probably this week is to figure out the full reaction. I have a comic reviews. Doing I'll review it just the damn issue, which that's gonna be a fun book to review. If you know what it is, you know what it is. But I know what it is.
Thank you, Tevia. Thank you, Tevia. But as for me, stay tuned for more SWTOR gaming, Mass Effect videos. I'm even planning a Mass Effect retrospective video about replaying the Mass Effect Trilogy Legendary Edition and how I felt, especially with the new rumors with BioWare. So definitely pay attention to that in the future. Also, let me go ahead and get out of solo for a second. Also, Nick Lenz, when are we planning the next Anime Blaze for JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 3?
I'm actually free on Tuesday.
Okay, we'll try to push for Tuesday, but if something comes up, I'll DM you. After.
All right.
But
I got no choir. I'm able to skip the choir practice. Actually, no, I can't do it Tuesday. Damn it! And I'm meeting.
We'll set something up off stream.
Yeah,
we'll set something up. But and then also movie review Deadpool and Wolverine, and also movie review Captain America: Brave New World. So please stay tuned for those.
Cool.
Like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Flame off.
Hi.